Loco sports fans, welcome to a Saturday night special edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown. Justin Jarrett, along with Wes Kerr and Marcus Walsh, WHHI TV, repping the Falcons on this final day of the 2026 NFL Draft. And
Indeed.
I haven't really stayed plugged into it. I've checked
It's,
in on
it's
the
a pretty
picks
good one.
every now and then on the ESPN app to see who was getting picked and all that, but I can't devote
Yeah,
3 days of my life
yeah.
to it anymore as a television program.
Look,
It just
if
doesn't make
I,
sense.
I respect the dire NFL fans who will, but I
Yeah,
the thing is, you got basketball and hockey playoffs going on. You got
yeah, there's too
obviously a
much
lot of
going on.
local sports, and it's hard to keep on track of everything. And
Yeah.
Like
but
NFL's
the
gonna
first
try to
round
take every
certainly
month.
some statements.
Yeah, some
They really
interesting
do,
picks for
really
sure,
do,
and I'm sure we'll talk about some of that in the
they
parting
definitely give. I
thoughts.
mean, it's definitely a popular event. Yeah.
Always has
But
been.
we'll circle back to that at the end. But
Right.
we got
Indeed,
a lot
and
to talk about.
also we may have a special guest at the end to talk about one of our parting thoughts that I'm sure you have on your short list, Wes. Some news out
There's
of
no doubt
Boston.
about it.
Some news out of Boston. So
Yes.
we'll have plenty to talk about in the parting thoughts because it is that most wonderful time of the year when like everything is happening at once in this world of sports, and that's true on the local sports scene too because it's our busiest season here in the spring. We're coming off Heritage, right back into the high school sports scene. We're starting to get playoff brackets coming together, region championships, and all that stuff. So we've got all that and more tonight on the Loco Sports Lowdown, brought to you by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors of Loco Sports. Mickelson Law Firm have been with us since the beginning. They jumped on board as soon as we got rolling and wanted to be a part of it, and have been one of our top sponsors ever since 2017. Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And Marcus, you'll be gushing about those Eagles a little bit later on as we talk high
Yep.
school baseball here on the Lowdown. Mickelson Law Firm, a great place for all your legal needs, right in downtown Bluffton. Our all-star sponsor, our founding sponsor, and WHHI TV, our partner in local sports coverage. You guys have the game covered on the live coverage of high school games, and you do more and more commentary and just incorporating that into your great local broadcasts. And we love being a part of that and partnering with you to cover the local teams and athletes here in the Locos. So thanks to WHHI TV.
Right on. And we're going to be definitely making some moves and probably having more stuff coming out into the summer and the fall for sure, because changes will be happening.
All right.
Just stay tuned.
It's
Stay
not
tuned.
too long. It's not too long until not not too long as we're end of April. It's not too long from now until you'll start to be doing some high school football prep.
Well, we still have a little ways to
Mr.
go.
Yeah.
Marcus Walsh.
Yeah, it's for me. I mean, I start to get really into it and whatnot. I've started looking at some schedules and possibilities and whatnot. But really, media day officially
Yeah.
kicks it off for
That's what I
me
was gonna say. Like that.
because I'm able to
Yeah.
talk to the players, coaches, get an idea. We have the schedule set by media day,
We do have
so
schedules out.
really
We have
it
schedules
it
out for
starts.
next year.
Yeah, we have schedules, and I've started trying to
Right.
preparing
I
to
don't
track
want
those
to.
down.
I'm going over a few things too, but we're not at a point where I can
Nah,
bug
well, and you
our
just
crew with it yet.
again, just like the NFL draft, trying to encroach on the postseason and all that stuff. High school football needs to stay out of the spring
My
season. Like this
my
is
prep really
spring sports.
starts in terms of scheduling and whatnot right after the 4th of July. That's
Yeah,
that's when
yeah,
I
that's
start
about
filling
right.
out stuff to get ready for media day, which is in August, and then we kick the season off. As much as I want to kick it off earlier, Jessa typically says let's do it after Labor Day, like the first Friday after Labor Day. So that's kind of the plan. More details coming. We're gonna, I'm sure, try some new things and whatnot based off the fact that one major component is in Charlotte, and that's Forrest Tucker. But we're going to, I
Mhm.
think, really try to implement what he gave to the broadcast, which was a ton to what we're doing and whatnot. I know that's kind of long winded, but just stay tuned because there's going
Yeah,
to be
stay tuned.
a lot coming.
Stay tuned to WHHI TV, our all-star
Indeed.
sponsor and partner in local sports coverage. All right, boys. Well, big time for high school baseball and softball, and we had some region championships decided over the last couple of nights. May River baseball and softball winning
How about
region
it?
titles. Softball running the table over there, at least thus far. I don't know if they have any left. Baseball locking up that region crown as well with the sweep of Colleton County. So exciting times in the Shark Tank, and those playoff brackets will be coming out pretty soon. We have one more week of regular season left. And then Marcus, you got to see the old Skiza showdown, part two,
Skiza playoffs start.
HHCA and JP2,
Skiza playoffs
and
start
this
this
one,
week, this coming week.
yeah, the playoffs are set, but they had business to finish on Thursday night, and you got
Yeah.
out to JP2 Thursday afternoon, evening, and a heck of a game out there, man, back and forth, and
It was.
HHCA able to pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, it was back and forth exactly like you said. HHCA got off to an early 1-0 lead. After one, JP2 came back with two in the last of the third inning, as it was a legitimate 2-run home run that was hit by JP2 to
Landon
make it
Davis,
a 2-1 game. It was the
right?
pitcher Landon Davis, and I didn't think at first that ball was going to get out. He jolted it to left center, and it had enough gusto to get over the wall. And then a huge 3-run fourth inning for HHCA, and JP2 countered with a run in the bottom half of the fourth, and then a run in the seventh for HHCA to make it 5-3. That fourth inning on HHCA really took control, and uh, Garrett Heathcott does an outstanding job wherever he is. He's a tremendous player on that team. He really struggled on the mound the other night. He came in the seventh inning, and you could just tell that he was a little bit off. But a tightly contested game for sure, with a lot on it. And I got to see HHCA and JP2 baseball for the first time, and see really these star athletes that we talk about so much. It was an interesting game for sure. A lot of calls that could have gone one way or another, certainly. But in the totality of it all, HHCA was just a little bit better. There were a couple of errors that JP2 made, and certainly I saw JP2 play a much crisper game on Monday of last week at THA. THA not to the level of either JP2 or
Right.
HHCA, in my opinion,
Mm-mm.
but yeah,
Ain't no
JP2 had
opinion about it. That's
some
facts.
it's true. Definitely had a few errors, and those hurt the Golden Warriors, but they played hard, and this is a big rivalry in any sport that you look at. A lot of star talent. JP2 is going to get up off the mat and get back at it, if you will, and HHCA probably riding high after the win there on Thursday.
No doubt. And just a couple of
Chip
notes on
Hetzel
that
was
game.
tremendous on the mound as well for
Sure was.
HHCA, for sure. And
Yeah, he
this
gave
was
them
on Game
4
Changer
innings.
for those that could watch it.
Yeah, Hetzel gave him 4 innings. Max Arash has slipped in the back door, camera off, so we will shame him later. Chip Hetzel, 4 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits. I'm just playing. But then Colt Sparger, the freshman in relief,
He was quite
3
good.
innings, scoreless relief, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He's so good. And then you mentioned Landon Davis hitting the 2-run bomb. Also went 3 innings, 1
He was
run,
pretty
4
good on the
hits.
mound too.
1 walk, 4 strikeouts. You know what grade he's in by any chance?
Davis. I'm thinking about this.
He's an 8th grader, bro.
Oh wow!
2030. 2030. There you
Holy
go. Landon
crap.
Davis, perfect game.
I feel old now.
Yeah, Landon
Yeah,
Davis.
you
So
ain't
I know
kidding.
this because like he played with us when we were 8 and he was 7. Like we were in the same tournaments and stuff, like up till maybe like 10, and then he started going other places.
Wow.
His perfect game grade is 8.5. just for reference here. 8 is potential draft pick and or excellent college prospect. 9 is potential top 10 round pick and or highest level college prospect. And again,
Wow.
he's only 13, but he's at 8.5. So we're talking about a legit prospect that JP2 has over there, and only in the 8th grade. So, and again, Sparger, a 9th grader at HHCA. So it's going to be
an 8th grader.
Yeah,
An 8th grader.
He's been a dude since we were little. And like he was crazy good. He was like 8 playing 10U and dominating, and then he just started playing on national teams and stuff, and getting out of the area. But he's crazy good, like crazy good.
Yeah.
Loud tools, as they say. So that rivalry is going to be good, and they may meet again.
They may meet again.
I
Very
have
good
a feeling they will. I mean, especially without a bracket.
Good. Now, have you checked the playoff bracket? Because they're on the same half. They're on the same half of the bracket, so they could meet in the finals for that bracket. So it's a double elimination bracket. So I believe they could meet on, I think, this Thursday if they both win their
I'm
first
looking
round.
for the bracket
if they both
online.
win
I
the first
have
game,
it.
I believe they.
on my phone.
It's Thursday or
on,
Friday
Thursday,
if it
the 30th.
comes to be.
Trying to get to the brackets. Here we go. Maybe. There we go.
Yes.
The Skiza Facebook page. Glorious Skiza Facebook page. Here we go. Skiza brackets. Baseball. 4A. So yeah, you got Hilton Head Christian gets the 1 seed. Let's pull that up. Hilton Head Christian gets the 1 seed, and they'll face either Hammond or Lawrence Manning on Tuesday. JP2 will travel to Augusta Christian on Tuesday. Tough break there, being the 3 seed. But if they both win that game, then we're back at HHCA on Thursday for a rematch. And then it's very possible that whoever wins, they could win back through. And then on Wednesday, May 6th, we could have another game with a potential if game on the 7th. So,
and they could meet.
We got a lot of.
Yeah. They could meet again later on as well.
Yeah, it could end up being a best of 3 series potentially.
Yeah.
So could be fun. Let's see. On the other side of the bracket, Pinewood's your top seed, Cardinal Newman, Wilson Hall. So we'll cross that bridge if we get there. But I got a good feeling that one of our 2 teams is going to get out of there.
I think
obviously
Christian should be the favorite in that entire in that entire classification. I think that they have displayed that they have been the best team, but certainly no one cares about what you do. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do up to that point. It's all about what will happen these next couple of weeks. Hilton Head Christian Academy certainly knows what it takes to get done this time of year, and quite the accomplishment.
Indeed.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Here we go. What else we got? 2A, Buford Academy, 4 seed. They're going to go to Lee Academy for the best of 3. I guess not go to them. First game will be at Lee. Second will be at BA. And then third, if necessary, will be back at Lee. Tough matchup there for BA. They've had a decent season, but probably don't have enough firepower for that one. Thomas Hayward, 2 seeds, so they'll get games 1 and 3 if necessary at home against the Kings. So best wishes to those fellas. They could meet again in the second round, but it doesn't seem likely.
I was going to say Lee Academy has always been a really strong program, and I should know. I've played them before back in my day of playing. So
I was there.
You should know you were there.
Colleton Prep gets the 5 seeds. So they sneak in. They'll have to play Florence Christian on the road, and then would have to go to Calhoun, which is really good. And then Patrick Henry also sliding in as the 5, trying to beat Spartanburg Christian to get a shot at Williamsburg. Hilton Head Prep, not the 1 seed, surprisingly. They're the 2 seed to Williamsburg, despite being some ridiculous record, 24-2 or something.
Yeah, right.
But is what it is. But they'll get Orangeburg Prep in round 1, and then likely have to go to Williamsburg after that. Hilton Head Prep, real state title contender as well, though. And then we're back to 4A. So that's what we got. Skeeza playoffs coming in hot this week.
It's wild.
Sure is.
And then for the high school league, those playoffs are like back a week, right?
Yeah, they're still. We got another week of regular season before they get going. And to that end, had some interesting games on Friday night. May River blanking Colleton County 9-0. That clinched the region title for them. Yeah, they are our region champs. So Sharks, I mean, much credit to that team. I don't think any of us expected them to kind of separate themselves from the field kind of in the way that they sort of have. But their pitching's just been so solid. I mean, when your number 3 guy, Micah Morgan, goes 6, no runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 7 Ks, that's going to get the job done most days in high school baseball. So great job by the Sharks keeping their hot streak alive. And they're young too. They've got some young guys as well. Finn Boyles, a sophomore with a couple knocks in that game Friday, and Derek Blessy, a freshman, had an RBI or 2 RBIs and a double. So they got some young talent. Their catcher too, Michaud Aiden, I want to say, 2 for 4 night. He's been so good behind the plate for them this year. So Bridges Prep also won a region baseball title, their first. That happened on Thursday when they beat, let me see here, Barnwell 5-2, which is no joke. Barnwell is always a quality squad, great program up there, and Bridges Prep getting the job done. Bryce Young, 2 for 3. Nice night for him. Brock, 3 for 4. I think that's Finn Brock, 3 for 4, double, triple, 2 RBIs.
Nice.
Jeremiah Young and crew winning a region crown for Bridges Prep baseball. Good stuff.
Is anybody
a lot of baseball talent?
I initially said that I would try to get to the Hilton Head Bridges game on Wednesday. Is anybody going to be able to get out there for that? I unfortunately cannot. So I plan to see Hilton Head on Tuesday
Wednesday's not
against, I
going
think
to
it's
work for me.
Northwood.
Bridges at Hilton
just
Head
curious.
Friday. It's a good little matchup.
Yeah.
I wish
not
I could
likely.
get there.
Not likely for me.
Yeah,
but,
it's hard with the schedules and stuff. I wish I could make it out to more. More events.
Well, the traffic around here is getting to be a problem too,
it's
man.
Nuts.
It's hard to get places. No doubt about it. But baseball titles for Hilton Head Christian, Hilton Head Prep, May River, Bridges Prep. What did I miss there?
Yeah, great
and then May River
baseball season all around.
well.
Bridges
it really
Prep has been one of the better stories of the year, how they've been doing, or of this season, of how they've been faring out there in the baseball field. And kind of we saw the preview last year. Remember, they got new baseball fields, softball fields near the end of the year. Then near the end of the year, and now they're really starting to get it going as we head into the playoffs in 2026. And they've got some just a great squad, great program, some solid coaches on that team, and would love to find a way to see them if they can get deeper, at least deep enough in the playoffs, are able to go and cover one of their games there. And it's a fun atmosphere over Bridges. They've had some good runs basketball a couple of years back, but now the baseball and softball, especially baseball program, has taken off, and that's awesome to see. But
they had a little letdown Friday though. I just saw they lost to Patrick Henry 9-6. Patrick Henry boys found some magic on Friday night. Jacob Corley went 3 for 4. And Matt Gohagen, he was in that game playing second base. Got a stolen base. You may remember that Mac was sidelined for a while, and it was touch and go. He had some some heart problems, and was at MUSC, and he was able to get back on the football field and score a touchdown in a short yardage situation this year, and then he's able to get it back out and play baseball as well. We showed you a video early in the season of his first hit back on the baseball field. So shout out to our Patrick Henry boys. We love y'all out there, and good luck in the playoffs. Softball, May River softball also clinched the region title, and they had to go through Colleton County to do it, as you would expect. They were able to beat the Cougars 10-6 on Friday. It was a battle. They were let's see, tied at 5. And then May River scored 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th to go up 10-5. Colleton got 1 back in the 7th, but Rowley fell short. Olivia Nagel 3 for 4 with a triple.
She's a player, man.
Yeah, she really is. She had a good game for the Sharks. Almost everybody had a hit. Brooke Rice 3 for 4 RBI, 2 runs scored. And I think she's a freshman. And then Caden Swafford, 7 innings, 6 runs, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts, 5 hits. So solid outing for her as well. Sharks go undefeated in region play, I believe. I think they're done.
Yes.
But
I'm looking at the the playoff bracket for the high school league. They've gone back to the district brackets instead of the mega lower state, upper state brackets they had in the past couple of years.
Yeah, so it's a little different setup at the end, I believe now. You get into a situation where you have 2 series instead of. I think there's a lower state championship series now. Maybe, I don't know. I saw some subtle difference, I thought, but maybe not. Maybe it's only 1 classification. Maybe only a 4A. I think 4A might be a little different.
I'm checking right now. I don't think so. I think it's just actually no, baseball. Okay, baseball is best of 3. Baseball is best of 3. Softball is the classic lower state upper state bracket. So
gotcha.
It looks like baseball and softball are.
Baseball is slightly different. Right?
Yes. Baseball and softball are a little different. Is what it's looking like here. Yeah, baseball is the 2 best of 3 series before the. So that's the difference. Baseball and softball different formats once you get to upper and lower state, which is interesting.
Are they both doing that district type tournaments as well?
District, and then that goes
district.
Into
but then
state.
Instead of the 14 lower state bracket, you have best of 3 series from the state semifinals, or lower state semifinals on.
Got it.
Yep. So
that's a lot like what they do in 1A baseball, or at least that's what they were doing last year. 1A baseball had the districts, which was what Hardyville. Well, we fell short in last year in the districts, finishing 3rd out of 4 teams in that district. But and that's So it's interesting to see them doing it now at the 4A level.
Well, I like the best of 3 format. I think I like it better.
I do too. I'm going to be honest.
What they did in the past, but
let's see. Anyway, that's we should have playoff brackets, coming this week, and we'll be covering the heck out of some baseball and softball playoffs for sure. It gets exciting when
cross playoffs start this week too.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, big matchup coming. Jacob Duell mentioned, he's the coach at HHCA, mentioned that big boys soccer matchup coming this week. HHCA at JP2 Wednesday at 6, most likely for the region title. And
by the way, we do have
see each other in the
boys and girls lacrosse playoffs that we probably should take a look at.
Oh, we have the brackets?
We do.
Brackets
are out for boys and girls lacrosse on the high school league website, so as well take a glance at those.
All right. You getting those up, or am I getting those up? Here we go. Boys lacrosse. Luckily, I had the brackets tab already.
Yep.
Already pulled up.
May River looks like they got a bye in the first round.
One of my 11 billion tabs. All right, 4A boys. May River, lower state 2 seed, so they get a bye, and then they'll get a home game on the first. Oh
That's
Lord,
Friday.
what day is the first? Friday.
Friday.
They'll get either Academic Magnet or Waccamaw, and then would most likely have to go to Christchurch. It would look like. Higher RPI would host if it's them and UC Flora. So we'll have to check that. Hilton Head 7 seed. They got 6 seed Gilbert, and then Bishop England would await. That's Death March, and then Oceanside Death March also for Beaufort. So looks like it'll probably be one and done for them. Hilton Head may get out of that first round, but they're gonna have a tough second round. May River will carry the flag for us. We'll see how far they go.
First got to that state championship that was played at Bluffton High School last year, if you remember, when they lost to Oceanside.
Right.
I forgot about that.
Margin,
Mine too. My memory's not what it used to be.
I was there, and it was fun for a minute, and then not so fun for May River because they were outdone by a very good Oceanside team that day.
Right. So May River is second in the RPI. Flora third, Christchurch 1. So that means that that May River would get to host if it was Flora.
Yes, they would. They would host.
If it's Christchurch, they'll have to go up there.
Yeah.
There you go. That's going to be a battle to see who gets out of there between Bishop England, Oceanside, basically them.
Yep.
All right, let's look at the girls. Oh, not that far back. Girls for
looks like we could get a Hilton Head May River matchup in round 2 if the Seahawks beat Fountain Head and May River beats Beaufort.
Seems highly likely.
Yeah. So
I think those were both pretty lopsided this year in Hilton Head's favor, weren't they?
Yeah. So it looks like we are going to be treated to a all Lowco quarterfinal in girls lacrosse, which would be Saturday between May River and Hilton Head, which would be at Hilton Head. So mark your calendar for if we could quite possibly have that coming up on a week from today.
Hilton Head beat them 17-5, but that was back on March 19th. Sharks have been on a roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row until they lost to Bishop England 19-5. So there you go. So yeah, it would all be.
Yeah, and then of course Hilton, if they beat May River, they'd probably have to run to Oceanside after that.
Yeah. So, but we should get somebody out that far. That's good. Should be cool. All right, lacrosse playoffs getting started this week. So we're starting. Boys start on Monday, girls start on Tuesday. Is that right? Yep.
Yes.
And then they go Friday, Saturday. All right. We'll keep tabs on that. Too bad May River has a first round bye.
I don't remember them having buys in the lacrosse playoffs in the past.
But, somebody must have. They must not have had the right number of teams that wanted to play or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure some of the fledgling teams maybe kind of barely holding it together by this point and not want to play in the playoffs, But all right, how about USCB? A little baseball and softball action out there this week as well. Yeah,
baseball. I mean, it's a
slog toward rigor mortis happening right now.
What I'll say is that there are some positive things that we have seen from this season. Some even today and throughout the series. But you scored 10 runs, 6 runs. I mean, you didn't completely lay an egg offensively, but you gotta find pitching, gotta find quality pitching. Yep. And this is a good. I mean, it's a strong middle Georgia State offense, no doubt about that. But it was an 8-6 game on Friday, and then you give up. How many? You give up 1 in the 8th, you give up 6 in the 9th, and that kind of takes wind out of your sail there. So the bullpen kind of faltered, and then today, it's just a matter of once again those big innings. Middle Georgia State's capitalized on the big innings this whole series. And they got 4 in the third, they got 6 in the 7th inning. It's just a couple of snowballing big innings for these pitchers that it just kind of gets to you, and they have not been able to find a way to stop the bleeding enough when that happens. And it's tough to see because they were good flashes. I mean, they were competitive once again this game. They tied it up. They're down 4-1, made it 4-4, and then you got to keep the chain moving in terms of the bullpen. Just haven't been able to do that enough this year, and it's been a recurring problem
for 2 years. It seems.
Yeah, I mean, although I will say this year,
longer, I think.
The offense has been better this year. I will say that the offense has taken a step forward this year for USCB baseball. Cooper McDaniel had a really nice game, went 3 for 5, and he gunned down a runner at the plate from left field on a beautiful throw. He was tremendous today. And then Chris Levenstein's on the senior day, 4 for 5, 4-hit game from him. So, congratulations to those 15 seniors who learned today. We wish them all the best as they move forward. A lot of impressive post-graduation plans, including some pretty prestigious jobs that some of them have secured. So as much as I've said, they should be doing better in the baseball field, good. They're great student athletes, and they're getting the job done. They got some bright futures. So
good for them.
Certainly not a lack of effort and not a lack of success. These young men have done great things.
Amen.
It's awesome.
Well said. When I made the comment about the slog to rigor mortis, just to let you guys know, on the inside joke there, I listened to a baseball nerd podcast called Effectively Wild, and one of the former hosts of Effectively Wild is Sam Miller, who worked at baseball. I don't know, baseball prospectus and Fangraphs and different places, but he once went on a rant that is now famous in Effectively Wild lore, in which he argued that the point of the playoffs was not, in fact, to decide the best team at the end of the season. He said the point of this entire enterprise is to entertain us with baseball games. The point of it is not to decide who's the best team. The illusion that is what we're doing has long been a powerful draw to sports, but it's ultimately not the point. There's no scenario where the universe will care or remember who the best team was out of this collection of collections. It only matters in as much as we create this illusion that it matters. If you lose even the illusion, then it becomes problematic. But the point is not to have the illusion. The point is to entertain people and make them forget that we are all dying right in front of each other. That this is just this horrible, rotten slog to rigor mortis. That we are all going to lose everybody we know. That we are going to lose everything we have. And the only way to distract ourselves is by separating our day into distractions and watching baseball.
Okay. All right.
Way to put a positive spin on things.
So that's why I said it's a slog to rigor mortis over there, because
wow,
the baseball games are just distracting them from other things
Inevitable
right now.
Too,
But
anyway,
or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe their future is distracting them from the rigor mortis of this season. But it'll be behind us soon, and hope will spring eternal again next year, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
softball's still in the mix.
Softball is.
They are. Yeah, they are.
Got a little dicey tonight, though.
It did. That last game was crazy. By the way, I was following the play-by-play. Back-to-back home runs late in that game, including MJ Stratinger, who hit one out.
Yeah, hit one out. Her first career home run for the Sand Sharks, so congrats to her.
Alyssa Rose hit the first one. Yep.
Alyssa Rose, 2 weekends in a row with a home run.
How about that?
Awesome. She is heating up at the perfect time for USCB, and she got the start at third in both games today for the Sand Sharks, and she was fantastic. Not only did she have a home run, but I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, she was 2 for 4 in game number 2 today, and she had a really good game 1. So she's starting to heat up at just the right time. I've been waiting to see Alyssa Rose come to life, and she's definitely doing that right now. But yeah, I mean, game 1, Madison Murphy did her thing. 7 strikeouts before the 5th inning. How about that?
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. And not something I've seen enough of from Madison Murphy this year, although she's had a couple of high strikeout games. Her season high is 10 on the year for a game. But she had 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 strikeouts in the third, and then 1 strikeout in the fourth. And then, really shut it down from there on out. As USC picked up the 4-1 win in game 1. Game 2, like we mentioned, a bit dicey.
Crazy
USC
game.
had the early 6-1 lead going into the fourth, and then Georgia Southwestern found 8 runs out of nowhere in the top of the fourth. Gave them the 9-6 lead. USCB answered back in the bottom of the inning, and it was a 2-run game. Then next thing you know, Georgia Southwestern makes it an 11-7 game, and you thought at that point USCB might be out of this one, and then for somehow, some way, Alyssa Rose and MJ Stradiger goes back to back in the bottom of the 6th, make it a 1-run game going into the top of the 7th, and then the pitching was the issue in game number 2. I mean, they used 4 different pitchers.
They just need
Emily
that.
Morgan,
They need
Emily
that
Morgan,
strong number
Kathy
2.
Brundage, Kylie Fisher, and Casey Cantwell finished it out. But 2 more in the 7th, and then USCB had a chance in the bottom half of the inning, but just an unfortunate dead ball out by just hit off the leg of Taylor Chang on a line drive that if it went through her, instead of hitting her in the leg, that would have been a base hit that really would have given USCB a chance to either tie the game or walk it off. And you walk it off, you win the series. So just an unfortunate.
So what happened?
It's just unfortunate.
Kaylee, what I just read on the stat sheet was Kaylee Eubanks singled. Taylor Chang at third, shortstop unassisted.
So what happened there is batted ball hit Chang.
Oh,
yes,
fair territory. She's out. Hitter's credited with the single. So line drive hits the runner,
and that ultimately led to the out to out number 2, and
that's
then
the worst
from there on out, and then USCB fell and got that third out, and that was the ball game right there. Georgia Southwestern picks up the win in game 2, and so we have the rubber match in game 3. Expect Madison Murphy, as per usual, to start in the circle for the Sand Sharks. Hopefully she has another good game. Despite the 7th strikeout, she also had 5 walks. That was an issue for her today. And I feel like, despite her being really good and really efficient, that has been an issue for her this season. And she has given up multiple times in outings. She's given up, 4 walks or more. So I think, something that she might need to work on as they head into the playoffs. But you would think a victory here could pretty much seal a spot for them in the conference tournament.
Look at the conference standings. So USCB's 10-13. The big shocker is that Flagler, who is right now 9th, beat Columbus State twice. They beat them twice, including a 9-inning game 4-3. So obviously that means USCB is not locked down their spot yet. They're 10-13. They have the head-to-head over Middle Georgia and Flagler. They're 2 games. They're 2 games ahead of Flagler. So if USCB wins and Flagler loses tomorrow, that would, because they would be 3 up to 3 to play.
Flagler's 9-15, right?
They're 8-15.
They
still have a game to play tomorrow.
So here's the other thing too. Okay. Now, the good news for USCB is USC Aiken played Lander this weekend. They've already finished their series. They played 2 games yesterday and a game today, and they lost 2 out of 3. They lost 2 out of 3 to Lander, so it puts USCB in a decent position. But with those 2 wins from Flagler, it makes it a little dicey. And of course, next weekend they go on the road to Aiken to play USC Aiken. So while I think they will hopefully secure a spot with a win tomorrow, if they don't, next weekend will be a huge series for USCB against USC Aiken, and I think they would need to win 2 out of 3 against the Pacers next weekend.
Oh, yeah, I think even if they win
they're going to
tomorrow,
have to anyway. Because
even if they win tomorrow, they'll need help.
If they win tomorrow, they're 1 game ahead of them.
Even if they win tomorrow, they're going to need some help to clinch. I think.
If they lose 2 out of 3, then they're tied, but they don't have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So
but
they're going to have to win 2 out of 3 regardless
yes, but
to stay
yeah, it
ahead of
looks like
them.
they'll need some help tomorrow to clinch, either by Flagler or Middle Georgia State losing, because Middle Georgia's 8-14. Middle Georgia still has 2 more games left to play in their series. With these schedules are weird because sometimes you play 2 on Friday, sometimes you play 2 on Saturday, sometimes you
Right.
play on 2 on Sunday. They're very strange. Baseball's
They got
much
North
worse.
Georgia. They got North
Yeah,
Georgia,
North
so
Georgia,
that doesn't
yeah,
bode
that's
too well for
yeah.
them.
So that is you'd expect
And then
them to
they
lose
have
both
Georgia
games.
College left as well. So
Oh,
But yeah,
no,
I mean,
that's
look,
all
you'd
that-
expect Middle Georgia to lose both those games. So likely, if USCB wins tomorrow, they'll be in all likelihood.
yeah, it would seem so. And then Flagler has Georgia Southwestern next week. Okay.
by the way, Taylor Chang had a home run in game number 1. She blasted one out over the left field wall. So that's her 6th home
Speaking
run on
of
the
home
year.
runs, Maddox Robinson had one for USB baseball today. It was
Yeah, that's right.
past the deepest part of the ballpark over the center field fence. By the way, one more note on the baseball game: USCB out-hit Middle Georgia State 18-5, 18-15.
Wow.
They out-hit them 18-15. They lost 12-6.
Well, softball out hit Georgia
man.
Southwestern in game 2,
but
17-14.
this was a 12-6
But they didn't
game.
get doubled up. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I
And
have to
you know
agree
what?
with Wes.
USC also made 5 errors.
that's
in
why.
that
Yeah.
ball game.
See, there's the issue right there. 5 errors and pitching just hasn't been there this year. And despite that, like Wes, I mean, I would be frustrated too if you had 18 hits and still lost by 6 runs. You know, if you out hit a team and still lost by 6 runs, that's frustrating.
That is frustrating.
Nuts.
Yikes.
All right, I'm gonna be back in just a minute, fellas, and be back in my office and just
All right. We should be
Right.
cruising into parting thoughts by then, I think. Any other big local headlines you boys have come across the last couple of days?
Nothing really for me that's hit a radar from what we talked about.
Well,
Nothing
I saw
additional.
some football schedules come in for next year.
Yeah. I did see that. I don't know. It is what it is. I know Hardyville and Hilton Head open against each other, and no Hampton Hilton Head this year, right?
Yeah, that I was going to say. Surprising that those 2 teams won't play.
Yeah, that was a bit
regular
of a
season.
surprise for sure.
Does Hilton Head have their schedule out?
I haven't
I've
seen
been-
theirs,
I've
but I
been
just
looking for it.
noticed that Hampton doesn't have Hilton Head in their schedule.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if Hilton Head's put theirs out or not. I would assume so.
I haven't seen
I
it.
think they're due the high school league on the
but
first.
yeah.
On the
They do the high
first.
school league on the first, so everybody will have them soon enough.
Yep.
If they tell you they don't, they're probably lying,
I've
or
not
they
seen
haven't,
it yet.
or they're
That would be
violation
the first. That would
with
be
the
the
high
first
school
of
league, one or the
May.
other.
1st of May, you mean, when the schedules
Yeah.
have to be in?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Schedules are due May 1st.
Got it.
So that's why you see people releasing them around this time, because they get them finalized and they go ahead and put them out. Man, I was looking for some track results, but doesn't look like they're up there yet. So let's get into some sponsors. Shout out to Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, and a great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Man, it was a beautiful day to be out on Skull Creek today. Definitely. Nice breeze, nice day. We need some rain, though. Hoping for some rain soon. But rain does kind of ruin the vibes at Hudson's. You can sit inside, though. It's nice inside, too. The food's just as good in there at Hudson Seafood House on the Docks. Marcus says to get the slaw. That's a no-brainer.
And the hush
you gotta
puppies.
get some hush puppies. Yeah, you
the
gotta
hush
get some
puppies are sweet, deep-fried balls of goodness. Those things are awesome.
Yeah,
Hush puppies and the 7-day slaw all day long.
Yep. Go to Hudson's Seafood
Book
House
it.
on the Docks. Twinge and Twombly, personal injury attorneys in Beaufort. They've got a rare name, but they provide remarkable service at Twinge and Twombly. HHI Windows and Doors wants to improve your view of the Loco. Our old friend Coach Barron over there hung up his whistle, focused on a new kind of screens at HHI Windows and Doors. Jay's Barbershop's the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. And Jay checked in tonight to say he wanted to talk about the Battle of Bluffton. I couldn't find any results, so we'll have to to maybe kick up the old Lowco grind machine though, and talk about the Battle of Bluffton. They had a big Greco-Roman and freestyle tournament, USA Wrestling tournament in Bluffton this weekend today, I believe. We'll try to find out more about who excelled out there on the mats. And speaking of the mats, Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and presenting sponsor of the aforementioned Lowco Grind. It's the place to be if you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level. And a bunch of those guys guys and girls from Reverence competing this weekend at the Battle of Bluffton. And we'll definitely want to shout out some of the winners over there as soon as we can. But all right, boys, brings us into parting thoughts. We got Max circling back around, and I'm sure he'll have half a dozen or so. But we can go ahead and get started with Marcus sporting his Falcons shirt, and you might want to hold off on any Falcons chatter until Max gets here, because I want to weigh in as well.
I can do that because I certainly have an opinion. It's probably a little bit unpopular, but I have an opinion. Overall, I think they had a very good draft. Unfortunately, it feels like my parting thoughts have just been heartbreaking news lately, but I've got another one. Maddox Gracer, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Young man who played for Worcester High School, the Worcester Generals in Worcester, Ohio. Second baseman pitcher. You guys may have even seen this because it's been on social media the last 24 plus hours. He played in a game the other day and played really well, and everything was fine. And he went home around 8 o'clock or so, and shortly after that became violently ill, was taken to Worcester Hospital, and then life-flighted to Akron Children's Hospital in Akron, Ohio, a place that I know well. And they did not find any brain activity with this kid. And he ended up passing away, I think it was yesterday. High school kid.
Yeah.
Wow, that's scary.
I'm reading about this.
So scary and so tragic for sure. I would say certainly one thing, and it's something that we all don't think enough about, and I say all meaning collectively, but especially if you're playing in the spring, summer, whatever, you gotta hydrate. There are three.
Yeah, for sure.
There are three things that I make sure, as somebody that lives with a disability that has affected my brain, there are three things that I make sure my darndest, and I'm not perfect, certainly, but I make sure that I do. Hydrate, make sure I'm getting enough food and the right kinds of food. Certainly that one I struggle with a little bit more. And then sleep. Those three things are so crucial,
I'll add
and
in one more.
especially for kids.
I'll add in one
sunshine.
more. Yes, I'll add in one more, which is daily exercise. Just move your body.
Of course.
Yep. Activity.
Really important.
No doubt.
No doubt hate to start the parting thoughts on that note, but very important that folks.
You hate to speculate because very interesting or strange case. I mean, he played a baseball game.
Like perfectly fine,
normal,
and then boom.
And then just got really sick that evening, and they took him to the hospital. He got worse and worse, and then just died. And they really don't know what the cause was. That's just terrifying.
And again, the point of me bringing this up isn't even to speculate, but just to say, take the steps to take care of yourself, and learn from, unfortunately, a tragic situation,
and take advantage of every day you get, because
that's a no-brainer. Of course,
you don't know when you're gonna run out. So gosh, that's a heartfelt one. That's tough to hear, but best wishes to everybody who loved that young man, and to the Worcester Generals.
No doubt.
All right.
Condolences to his family and friends. Well, in a different direction.
Yeah, please.
Absolutely.
I think you probably know where I'm going with this first one. Is some shocking news out of Boston today that the Red Sox have announced they have fired manager Alex Cora and a few others on staff.
Unreal.
What I have seen pretty shocking to pretty much everyone who
Cleaning
have
house.
seen this news. Although, wait a minute. They fired Alex Cora. They fired hitting coach Peter Fatse. They fired bench coach Ramon Vasquez. They fired third base coach Kyle Hudson and game playing coach and legend Jason Varitek. My thoughts on this, Alex Cora has been such an important manager for this team and brought mojo and excitement to the Red Sox organization. Of course, won that World Series with him. I thought he was a great manager. I thought he got the most out of the talent that he was given. The key problem with what has happened here this year hasn't been Cora. It's been the general manager, Craig Breslow. He is the one who ultimately should have gone today. Craig Breslow has.
I did find that very odd.
He traded Devers for a disappointing return, to say the least. Especially, superstar third baseman, franchise player.
And he would have never had to trade Devers if he didn't offend him and stab him in the back.
Yep,
right.
That was kind of what caused it in the beginning of the season, spring training. That certainly sparked that move. And then you look to not being able to get Bregman back to re-sign him, and just the inability to build on the offense because I thought that Ranger Suarez was a decent ad. I thought Sonny Gray unfortunately has been hurt, but they needed to address the offense, especially when you lose a superstar like Rafael Devers, you lose a superstar player like Alex Bregman, and just the infield as a whole has not been upgraded enough, and the offense as a whole has been absolutely struggling this year. When you look up the metrics for the teams as a whole, for hitting statistics, as I look them up so far, the Red Sox, 22nd in total runs scored. Certainly, they expected a higher total than that. They are not great in terms of average or slugging percentage, and really it's just the top guys, the guys you were hoping to see. They're 28th out of 30 in slugging, and OPS is 27th out of 30 teams. Certainly, you would expect a lot more from this organization in terms of the offense, and it's tough for Cora when the cast around you is just not up to par. And you've kind of seen these last couple of games. Yeah, Roman Anthony's been struggling. Certainly he's a young star or a young budding star with good potential, but you can't expect him to be a stud in this league right away. It's going to take time. And it's just the guys around him have not done enough. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because it was good to see the Red Sox find a way to sneak in the playoffs and provide enough spark offensively. I think a lot of that was just due to the success of Crochet and Chapman, who were just so solid in the pitching department. They got some good performances from others. Other guys provide a spark. Of course, Alex Bregman is gone, and his departure has left a big hole in the offense as well. And there really hasn't been enough there to fill some massive voids left by a couple of players who are no longer there. And that ultimately is why that they should have decided to potentially go away with Craig Breslow, who has definitely put this organization behind the eight ball in more ways than one. And, it's the scapegoat mentality is now you decide to get rid of Cora, and certainly we'll to see what happens with Cora down the road. Now he is no longer with Boston, and it's just a really rough situation this entire decade for a team that won 4 World Series championships in less than a 20-year span, the 2000s and the 2010s, and had such tremendous success. It has been tough to see as a Red Sox fan to witness not just a couple of losing and unsuccessful and disappointing seasons, but to lose one of your franchise players in Rafael Devers, who
face
was
of the franchise.
Yeah, face of the franchise.
They traded away 2 consecutive faces of the franchise.
It literally baffles me because I remember, and it was not all that long ago, when Craig Breslow was a relief pitcher for
Yes,
Cleveland.
it was.
And then all of a sudden he retires or however happens, and I should know
Yeah, I mean,
more
he was
about this.
playing as recently as like 12
A couple of years ago,
13.
right?
Well, no, like 12 years
Or
ago.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
He
it's
was
been
with
He's
the
been
longer
Red
than
in
I
Sox
front
in
thought.
13 when
offices
they
for
won
about
the
a
World
decade
Series.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he bounced through a few clubs front offices and then ended up as the Red Sox GM. You're older than you realize.
Yeah, I think I spotted another gray hair.
And
Yep.
I you know,
Wow.
my thing is that I was a little shocked by them getting rid of Alex Cora, but like you said, Wes, on the other hand, I'm not shocked. It's hard for me to see them getting rid of Alex Cora because I think he is a fantastic manager.
Yep.
And whoever picks him up is going to have someone who can help build a team up alongside a general manager. I mean, it's what he's really good at doing. So
Very
I
perplexing.
think the other thing is you get rid of Mookie Betts, you trade away Rafael
Yeah.
Devers.
Yeah.
Just why? I mean, that is just
That doesn't make sense.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense. And I'm sure there was an uproar.
You're next, Roman Anthony.
Yeah,
That's probably what he's
honestly,
thinking.
Or
man.
Garrett Crochet. I feel like any of those guys are on the chopping block at
Yep.
this
Oh,
point.
Crochet's a mercenary
There are
anyway.
a bunch
He
of
doesn't care.
Duran trade rumors all winter
Yeah,
long.
Duran.
They
Yeah,
never moved
true.
them.
Yeah,
It's just
so it's just it's going to be interesting to see what the Red Sox do because it is quite early in the season for managers to get fired.
Yeah, well, I
was thinking the Mets coaching staff would be first.
Yeah, I thought they
before
would
the
be
Red
first
Sox.
to go. Maybe Rob Thompson in Philadelphia too, because it's not going well there right now.
They're
He's
on
always
verge
been kind
Yeah.
of
Ugh.
the my way or
10
the
in a
highway
row,
guy,
10
and they
losses.
usually
10
get
losses
worse
in a
when
row.
it's not going well. So, also the Giants, Vitello, I don't think he's going to make it through the year. That was a mistake. But we'll see.
Real quick,
he just doesn't know how to handle himself. Yeah.
According to baseballreference.com,
Yeah, 2017.
2017 was the last year that Breslow pitched, and he pitched for
So 9
Minnesota
years.
and Cleveland
God,
that year.
That's shorter than I
That's
realized.
nuts.
Yeah,
Oh.
9 years though.
Yeah.
It's a good while.
And then he
10
just
years is
became,
the
he
big-
went from
10
a
years is
pitcher
big,
to a GM. That's
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
really
don't know
odd.
what. Somebody believed in him, obviously, but I don't think he's long for general.
but you just look at the pool of
baseball.
talent that this Red Sox team had just earlier in the decade. You look at Rafael Devers, Chris Sale, who was with this team earlier, Xander Bogaerts, just to name a few, and then you had a strong farm system as well under him, and some of those guys have certainly panned out. You look at what Meyer can do. You look at Roman Anthony, his potential. Cedar Rafaela has done a good job in his time here, but just too many whiffs and mistakes from Breslow of how he has managed or really mismanaged the team throughout these last few years. So certainly a lot of soul searching this season in Boston for what is going to happen next with this franchise. Certainly a franchise that has had great success over the last couple of decades, but these last few years, a lot of question marks for sure. But then my other parting thoughts is looking forward to a game that we haven't mentioned coming up next week, the rematch between Bluffton and Maryville Soccer coming up on Tuesday. And that the boys game will be at Bluffton. I'll be there at 7:00. Looking forward to that one. Maryville boys looking to run the table and go perfect in region play. Bluffton 3-5 overall region. Kind of expect a little bit more from them, but
they've been in good form lately. I mean, they beat JP2, handed them their first loss the other night. So I think they're rounding
Coach
into
Fox has
form.
got them playing some good soccer.
Yeah, should be a good
2-0 respectful loss to Bishop. I mean, 2-0 losses can be, they can be close. They can also be, you just got dominated and they found a way to put 2 on you. So
right. Yeah, 2-0 is hard to say.
Yeah. But Yeah, but we'll see. It should be an interesting one. I will be there at the Bobcat Den Tuesday night, May River Bluffton soccer. Looking forward to that. I haven't been to much soccer this spring so far. So.
No, you've been calling so many games. You've been staying
Well,
busy.
yeah, we will be. We'll wrapping it up tomorrow. Our final baseball and softball games of the year at the Shark Park, and we got a new baseball scoreboard. So cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
The old
on the last day of the season.
The old one broke. Old one broke.
Oh, well, the old one used to break all the time. I used to have to call that redneck out in the middle of Georgia that services them, and he'd have to come and fix it for us. Like, there's just a number you call, and the guy's like, hello? And you're like, is this the Electromech scoreboard? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, hey, mine's not working. He's like, all right, I'll be there tomorrow.
I mean, that Jeff
wild.
Riley post.
That's a good thought by Jeff. Perhaps they wanted to clean house, and Alex said, well, you got to fire me too. Perhaps.
Yeah, it's that scapegoat mentality that I was talking about
your shirt,
earlier.
Max. I like your shirt as well. It's bold.
I like the glasses. The specs.
Yeah, I do too. It's a good look.
It's a matter of just sometimes going back to what Jeff said. It's a matter of making a statement, and sometimes you have to find a scapegoat to just put something in the next era and just turn the page. And unfortunately, that was getting rid of Cora, but certainly he has had a successful tenure for the most part. There have been some lean years, but definitely the problem with some talent that left has made his job a little tougher at times. But I think the job he did last year with bringing that team into the playoffs was pretty impressive. So I mean, I think he's a great manager, and it's tough to it's like I said, I understand the decision. Certainly a shocking decision by many, and like I said, a lot of interesting maneuvers to come for this organization coming up. Max,
Jeff Riley wants to know if you had a date tonight because you were the best dressed.
I had a date with USCB softball tonight.
He was calling USCB softball tonight and then coming in hot for the show. So no hot dates for Max, but maybe he'll get one after showing up to the show looking so fresh. Who knows? All right. Well, we've avoided it thus far somehow, but we are waiting for you, Max. NFL draft. I'm sure Max will break the seal on the NFL draft talk.
Yeah, obviously, quite some interesting moves. I'm sure, Justin, you were quite intrigued by the Kansas City Chiefs moving up to 6th to draft a guy who probably wasn't going to go in the top 10. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, next corner didn't come off the board for a long time either.
Yeah,
so I don't know. It was interesting.
Apart from that, Atlanta Falcons, obviously, we didn't have a pick in the first round. I was thinking they may try to move up. It's a new GM, new coaching staff.
That too, but
I was thinking about it. Thought they might do it. They didn't. Waited till the second round, drafted Avion Terrell. Welcome to the family, man. Brother of Pro Bowl cornerback AJ Terrell. So he's going to be a good.
How about that third round pick? Zachariah Branch out of Georgia.
I love that too.
You like that?
Branch out of Georgia. They got what's his name, the linebacker from LSU.
Harold Perkins got him in the 6th.
Yeah, Harold Perkins got him in the 6th.
They also took Kendall Daniels out of Oklahoma, another linebacker.
I think the biggest shock for everyone, and really we all know the story that he had a torn ACL, sat out the entire 2025 season. Jermod McCoy, who I think a lot of people thought he was going to go in the first round. Waited till the 101st pick to be drafted, and if I believe correctly, he went
Cardinals?
to the
Raiders.
No.
He went to the Raiders.
Was it? Okay.
The Raiders.
Which
the Raiders.
If he can stay healthy, he's a big pickup for the Oakland Raiders to go alongside Fernando Mendoza.
Las Vegas Raiders. You're as bad as my grandpa was.
Why is it we always keep calling the Oakland Raiders? By the way, how about the Carolina Panthers?
I think we should always call them Oakland just out of tribute.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oakland's gotten hosed on the Pro Bowl.
And then randomly, I still call the Rams the St. Louis Rams because they're
the Los Angeles Rams because they were the Los Angeles Rams before they were the St. Louis Rams.
They were first the St. Louis
But the
Rams,
Chargers I'm not gonna get used to the Chargers not being from San Diego.
I still
San Diego Superchargers.
Yeah, I still think they should bring an NFL team back to St. Louis. That's my opinion. Anyway, a lot of great moves in the NFL draft, but
the Browns had a great draft.
The Browns had a fantastic draft.
Yeah, one of their best in years, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
They really
had
did.
a really good draft.
I like Dan Morgan, what he did for Carolina. By the way, cool first round pick. Monroe Freeling, a former Oceanside Collegiate Land Shark, who played
no kidding.
UGA,
Yeah. Tackle out of Georgia, 6'7", 315.
I'm excited to see what he can do, helping protect Bryce Young. But the funny quote that was shown around on social media, he was asked on his hobbies outside of football, and his response: "Sometimes I like to donate golf balls to the water at local golf courses."
The other one I think everyone was intrigued by was obviously that whole scenario in the first round regarding Mekhi Lemon with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia traded up to go right in front of the Steelers because they knew exactly where they were going with it. They decided to play a little game of chess with their in-state rivals of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Picked up Mekhi Lemon, thought that was hilarious, and I think everybody was like, "Well, Pittsburgh Steelers just dropped an egg on that one." But apart from that, it was a good draft. Other parting thoughts. Well, obviously my Braves are best in baseball right now. I'm very excited for that. They are best in baseball right now. I think they're the biggest threat right now to the Dodgers.
Cool to see. It's been good to see it all come together for Atlanta this year, and just knock on wood, guys will be able to stay healthy as the season goes along. But
currently right now they're now going in extra innings with the Philadelphia Phillies. Tied up 4 apiece, so I'm intrigued to see where that game goes.
I mean, right now, I think that they are the clear favorites in that division with the struggles of Philadelphia.
They are up
struggles
now. They're up 5.5 games.
I don't see Washington or I don't see Miami.
Well, look at that whole.
Philly will get back in it most likely, but.
Look at that whole division. That is upside down compared to what we all expected that division to be looking like. We thought it was going to be the Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies all in contention for that top spot. We thought it was going to be one heck of a competitive division. And what it has started out as is, the Braves are up there, but the Phillies and Mets, Phillies are on a 10-game losing streak currently, and the Mets just came off of a 12-game losing streak. And they're both sitting at the bottom of the division where somehow, some way, the Marlins and the Nationals are fighting for the second spot in the division, yet the Braves have a 5.5.
It's early yet.
Yep,
it is early, and we know what it's like in that division where things can change. You remember the Mets had a huge lead going into the second half of the season after the All-Star break, and Braves roared back and beat the Phillies in a 3-game the Mets in a 3-game set, and it changed everything. So
I mean, there's a reason they play 162. There's going to be ebbs and flows to it. We're not even out of April yet. Some guys can't even hit until May because it's too cold. And so Dominican guys.
It's gonna be interesting to see what this division turns into as we get towards All-Star break. I'm intrigued to see where it's at going into that break. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Any other parting thoughts? Obviously, the USCB softball, really, actually, 2 really well played games tonight. Pitching was an issue in the second game, but that offense was cooking for both games. I mean, they were really strong in both games and really didn't waver. And I think this offense has really come alive. I think the pitching is a lot better than it was, say, a month ago, to where it is now. I think the pitching's there. Just tonight, which just wasn't their night. You started Emily Morgan. She actually pitched solid for 3 innings, and then it kind of fell apart in that 4th inning. You got through Emily Morgan, take her out, put Cassie Brundage in, and kind of finished out that 3rd inning, went into the 4th, and it was a disaster. In the 4th inning, you go through Cassie Brundage, bring in Kylie Fisher. Kylie Fisher pitched okay, but not great, and then it got to the point where she was starting to struggle, and then you had to bring in Casey Cantwell, who we have not seen a lot of this year, and I feel like we haven't seen enough of her this year, in my opinion. I think she's a fantastic pitcher, but she's only a freshman, so we
it's
still
good to
have
see
a few
those
more years
younger pitchers getting some more.
Yeah, and you got to got to throw in the fire.
Yep.
That's how you get them
some
ready
playoff.
for the big time. All right. To piggyback on the NFL draft stuff. Well, Wes, how'd you feel about the Panthers draft? You started to say something.
I thought that Dan Morgan did a great job. I think that he addressed some important needs. You know, I was hoping to get a tight end. Tommy Tremble's okay, but they really don't have that standout tight end. I was hoping they would address that, and just didn't quite fall to them maybe the way that.
There wasn't a whole lot of tight ends to choose from in this draft. Being completely honest.
Yeah, the Chiefs didn't pick one, and that was on their need list too. So I think it must have been.
That's just the way sometimes it falls. Is the positions you want. I guess the one criticism that I've seen is they didn't select a linebacker, and I think that they could have used another one to really anchor that defense. But I think that for the most part they went heavy later on the secondary, which I think was one of their needs. Chris Brazel they picked up as a wide receiver. They could use a secondary guy to Tetro McMillan. Because I think Jalen Coker is great, but I don't know if they have that true secondary guy, because certainly McMillan shows that he's a number one receiver. But right now, can someone else step up? And, I think that there is talent in this draft class. I think there's a lot of talent. I think Freeling's going to be a good guy up front, and looking forward to seeing how Lee Hunter does a defensive tackle. They've definitely built a solid defensive nucleus. Derek Brown has been such a key piece a couple of years ago when they drafted him, and I think that for the most part they've done a solid job upgrading those positions. I felt like they could have done a little better, but not bad. I like the majority of the selections that they made, and it's all about certainly I think about the thing about the draft is people will give out grades and analysis. I think the whole draft analysis isn't paying out until they actually get on the field. But that's kind of where we
truly don't know.
Yeah. Because
everybody
I was speculating.
an idea.
I thought McMillan was a solid pick. Certainly, and he had some talent. There was another pick that I was thinking they could have made instead of him, but we saw right away that he was a special player, and he was certainly the right choice of the pick that they had last year. So. I think Dan Morgan's done a great job. I think he's definitely improved this roster to continue to be competitive in what should be a very interesting NFC South this year. I think New Orleans could still take some steps up. Atlanta, jury is still kind of out with them. I'm not quite sure what we will get from Atlanta this year.
I'm going to piggyback off that thought and tell you, and this is probably I'm probably in the minority on this. The one position that I really think Atlanta should have drafted, even with their last pick that they had in the 7th round, it's because I'm not sold on Tua, and I'm certainly not sold on Simeon, because Simeon has been hurt, or he hasn't played in a couple of years. He's their 3rd string quarterback, and if Penix can stay healthy, there's a chance for me to be sold on him. And, they ended up drafting him 2 years ago when we had Kirk Cousins. So I really think that Atlanta should have drafted a quarterback today. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, doesn't matter, but they should have drafted a quarterback today.
I'm gonna disagree with you on this one, Marcus. I don't think they should have drafted a quarterback.
Like I said, I'm probably in the minority.
Yeah, I think they need to bolster their quarterback class. I just
I
don't think it was with this draft. If they got to, they're gonna have to wait until next year. I think.
Hopefully, Penix can stay healthy.
And if Tua becomes a starter, granted, I would like to see Tua play well. I just don't trust him. The problem.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't either.
the problem for me is I want to trust him, but concussions have been an issue for him. I just don't know. Even if it's a fresh start for him, I just don't know if I trust him right now. And I really don't trust anyone in the quarterback room. And I agree with you on that, Marcus.
Well, I trust Patrick Mahomes, but he's going to be hurt for a while. He's going to be hurt he'll be recovering for a little while.
Yeah.
But
same thing with Penix with the ACL.
I like what the Chiefs did in the 7th. Picking Garrett Nussmeier out of LSU in the 7th round.
That's who I wanted Atlanta to get.
That is a guy that was projected to be the number 1 pick going into last season, and just completely fell off. And I don't know. It seems like there's something there. So I like that pickup.
I like Garrett Nussmeier. I think there are some issues with him, and it's part of the reason why he's sitting in.
But let's go let him learn under Patrick Mahomes for a couple of years and see what he looks like then.
Yeah.
Right.
But I absolutely love the Sam Heck pick for Carolina at 143. That was a big time value pick. It looks like he was one of the better linemen in the class that kind of fell to them midway through the draft. I really like that for them. I think that building on the depth on the offensive line is such an important piece, especially when you have still a young quarterback out there, to have a center that has that kind of high potential, and you get him midway through the draft. I think that could be an absolutely big steal for Dan Morgan in this group. And I'm seeing that they did draft a linebacker very late in the 7th round, Jackson Kuwach from Miami of Ohio, and so we'll see how he pans out. And yeah, I'm excited. I think that, like I said, a solid class. They addressed some of the needs, and they kind of went that best pick available mentality, and I think it kind of really worked well for them in this particular draft. So it's exciting. There's a lot of buzz in the air in Carolina now after a couple of really disappointing seasons, and we'll see how they can build on what they did last year.
I'm actually now that I think about it, there was a couple quarterbacks that were still on the board that I thought Atlanta might go with in the fifth or 6th round. Like, Cade Klubnik was on that board.
Klubnik went to the Jets.
Yeah, I was looking at him too, and he goes to the Jets.
Yeah,
JT is Jets here.
That poor kid's gonna struggle.
I
really like.
Usually
Cade
doesn't
Klubnik.
work out well.
Oh boy,
it's the Jets.
Usually doesn't work out well.
Jets and the Mets
go to the Jets. Sadly.
Rarely unless you get
and then another parting thought that I had today, I heard this during the Cubs Dodgers broadcast. Today was the anniversary of the legendary Rick Monday rescuing the American flag at a Dodgers Cubs game. I don't know if you guys know that story, but 50th anniversary.
Vince Scully was on the call for that.
I believe that's probably true. It was way back in 1976. The Cubs were playing the Dodgers in Los Angeles, and a couple of guys jumped on the field with the American flag, and they were going to burn it. And Rick Monday ran over and took it from them, rescued the flag, and ran away and gave it to Dodgers pitcher Doug Rauch. Crowd went crazy, and so that was kind of an iconic moment, and they honored Monday today on the 50th anniversary. So I thought that was kind of cool.
And he joined Joe Davis on the call. That's how I knew just a little bit about it, because I was watching that game for a few minutes.
I was listening to the Cubs radio broadcast while I was working outside, but he jumped on the call.
He was on the TV call on Fox.
Pretty cool. Always a story that stuck in my head. And on the subject of Rick Monday, shout out to Ray Murray, my editor at the Columbia Missourian, who always used an example of why you should always put on in front of a day of the week when it follows a proper noun. He always used the example of Rick Monday Tuesday. Rick Monday Tuesday rescued an American flag. So on Tuesday. So shout out Ray Murray, and also Team Isn't It. He had T-shirts made that said Team Isn't It, because Missouri is not a they, it's an it.
Grammar matters, folks.
Yes, indeed.
Whether you write it or speak it.
On that note, good stuff tonight. We appreciate all of our sponsors for making it possible. Thanks to all of you for showing up to listen or watch, and thanks to you boys for hanging out to talk local sports and much more with me. We'll be back probably Monday night. That's kind of been the plan. And we're getting into playoff season, so we'll plan on Monday night. We'll see you for another Loco Sports Lowdown. For Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time. Go Loco.